so everything is in here, so you don't even need that. I've got it highlighted. Who's speaking, right?
Okay.
I only made one change at the very, very end. Instead of taking questions from the podium, we're going to do them off to the side.
Just go with it.
Yep.
Matt? Hey, Kevin. How are you? How are you doing? Wait. My heart. I mean, whatever you need. I didn't know. That's between us. We got a beef there for each other. I just
Very end.
No, that's okay. I got you.
Hold on. Yep. I'm working on it.
Yeah, we're working.
Hey, Joey. How are you, buddy? I change stuff all the time. Yeah.
There you go.
Let me just figure out the best place to put him in. Yep. I'm with you. 20 years. It was signed 20 years ago tomorrow.
just going to get bigger and better, right?
Where are you putting that?
After Mr. Palmer. So you don't have to worry about it.
I don't have to worry about announcing them because
No.
I do have a spot in here where I talk to who's here.
Yep. Yeah, we don't want to block that.
We're going to have to partake. My wife, she made a weekly donation. You tell her to feed that, and if she wants to make it, I'm okay
After
with it.
Justine, yep. Yeah, I'm putting Joe in after Mr. Palmer. Hey, Kevin. Excuse me 1 second. All right, so after Kip Palmer, from Palmer Foods is done speaking, then we're going to introduce Joe.
Okay.
So, can you read my writing?
Yes.
Okay. And then after that, well, no, yeah. So then,
No, I think
so Kevin,
Ryan's
Kevin will introduce you.
that was it. I think I met everybody else.
So thank you, Kip. And Joe.
Emily Reed. Yeah, I think this is Paul Brown right here walking out.
Nope, Kip first, then Joe.
Joe Ruffalo.
So Ruffalo, like Buffalo, there with an
Buffalo
R.
Ruffalo. Man, you're good at that.
So here are your then Pagels,
We've met a
Paul
couple
Brown.
times,
All right.
Yeah. Oh, Brown.
So Kip, Joe, then Patrick. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's what it's there for.
My pleasure.
Hey, Senator Ryan. How are you? Thanks for coming out.
How you doing? All right. Nice to see you.
Hey, Joshua. How are you, buddy? Good to see you.
We're trying. We're getting it
I
out
think we're good. I think you're good. Any surprises out here?
Just one last minute addition to the speaker's agenda, but that's fine.
Okay.
It's all good. It's all good stuff. Well, that's all the ladies wherever my Ellie. You might want to put a shirt on. Yeah, for one of our county lawyers. In Saratoga before they gave Jeannie conference over there.
Yeah, yeah. Let him go, Anna.
Getting out there. People are listening. Well, actually,
Seneca Nation was that chaos.
yes, sir. Comment. So, yes, we did.
Hold on.
Yeah, just weird solid hair.
That's what we're going for. Just the mood. We're here too. So.
You know, it really works because I happen to be working right there. People and activity really respond.
Yeah, I mean, we have so many Senecas in the city,
Right.
you know, that are mixed in that in those regards. So
Yeah.
it really,
That's whatever happened with the May tragedy in the nation being there that day. I think really
yeah, and we continued after that with real support. That was it's horrendous, you know. And we want to use the term sometimes because of how it feels to get beaten up and here too, but that is a death penalty.
Yeah. Yeah. And I got a T-shirt from that day. And every time I wear it around, people always say something.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
it has an impact.
all right.
No, it really does. Yeah.
Did you get one of these ones?
Campaign.
Please do. Please do.
If I can invite everybody to please find a seat, we're going to get started in just a minute or two. Thank you. And if they come up, great. If they don't, fine. And whenever they're done, then you can do that, and we're done.
Are they going to come up to speak as they come through?
Yeah.
So as we do the introduction?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. You want me to write that in there? You got it.
No, you got it. Just give me the, just come over.
You got it.
Yeah, just self security. Let's do this. Good morning. As I was just getting my notes together, thank you, Phil Pantano, for putting everything together. He's a guy who always makes sure I look good up here, and Tanya also. As you might know, I'm Kevin Nephew. I'm president and CEO of Seneca Gaming Corporation. On behalf of our team at Seneca Niagara, I want to thank you for joining us for this special celebration. And truly, it's going to be a great celebration. Our Seneca Gaming Corporation team members, elected officials, our friends and supporters from organized labor, our trusted business partners, colleagues from the local business community, and neighbors from throughout Western New York, welcome to all. We are here today to celebrate a moment of great importance in the history of the Seneca Nation and the history of Western New York. To kick things off, please welcome the President of the Seneca Nation, Matthew Pagels.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, everyone, for just being here today. Before I get started, I too need to welcome the representatives from other governments who are here joining us today. Robert Restino, Sean Ryan, Assemblyman Morinello, Emily Reed from Kennedy's office, other partners from Niagara Falls Memorial Medical Center, the trades, the foods, the vendors, the staff, the people, everybody. We can't thank you enough. Thanks for accepting the invitation to celebrate with us and hear firsthand what the Seneca Nation means for Western New York. 20 years ago tomorrow, just over there, one of the most significant events in our recent history took place. On August 18th, 2002, Seneca Nation President Cyrus Schindler signed the Seneca Nation's Class III Gaming Compact. It was a bold move on the nation's part. Some might say a bit of a gamble, but I think it paid off. 20 years later, the positive impacts of that singular moment continue to be seen and felt in the lives of countless families, businesses, and Western New York, and so far beyond. You're going to hear directly from some of them just in a few minutes, and you'll hear why they're proud to stand with Seneca. First, let me tell you about the Seneca Nation and what that moment 20 years ago has meant for our people. The Seneca Nation is 8,500 people strong, most of whom live right here in Western New York. Like other governments, we provide a range of services to our community, from healthcare to education, housing, and recreation. Not one of those are earned or paid for on the backs of the Seneca Nation or the people. We cannot and we do not tax our own. Our ability to fund these critical services is fueled by this gaming at our business enterprises, and that's the primary source of our government's funding. So, for the Seneca people, our gaming business means access to health care, social services, including elder benefits, child and family welfare programs. It means infrastructure like water, sewer, utilities, broadband. It means funding our mortgage program and our rental housing. In short, it means a better quality of life. And we've been able to provide that for 20 years now. While those improvements have been dramatic, still, we have so far to go. What kind of difference can this business make in the life of every Seneca? Well, I can tell you that personally, I am who I am and where I am because my nation invested in me. There's no other way to say it. Over the last 20 years, we've been able to expand and strengthen our programs and services to reach more Senecas and give them tools and resources to build a better future. That's what this business means. It's not just business or politics or dollars or cents. This is about a people. This is about a nation, the lives, the livelihoods, and strengthening and preserving that nation and our culture. That's why we're here. That's the true measure of what we've accomplished for the last 20 years. And that is why we need a fair, new compact, so we can continue to make this difference. People are counting on us, and as you can see, people are standing with us. With that, Nyawi, I'm going to turn things back over to Kevin. Thank you again for being here.
Thank you, President Pagels, for those great comments. The signing of the compact was an all-important first step that opened the door to an unprecedented wave of development, investment, job creation, and economic rebirth. But after that first step, more was needed to follow up, including the dramatic transformation of an aging convention center into a world-class gaming destination. Many thought it couldn't be done. The Seneca Nation did it in 100 days. How? Well, we had the best skilled tradespeople and construction workers on our team, helping us to make the impossible possible. They were there with us then. They've been with us through more than $1 billion in construction and development projects since, and they're standing with us today. Please welcome the President of the Building and Construction Trades Council, Mr. Paul Brown.
How y'all doing? Good? I don't know how many people know this, but my family and the Senecas go way back. My grandfather built a cabin and lived in it down in Steenburg, literally across the street from the Senecas. So my uncles paled around with them, and when the Kazua Dam fiasco happened, we had to move up the hill the same as they did. In fact, my cabin is about 1.5 miles from Mojan. Am I allowed to say that here? So our history goes a long way back, and I had a tremendous amount of respect for them. But then when they said they're going to build a casino in 100 days, I kind of thought they were nuts. Especially seeing how it's in Niagara Falls. Nothing happens in 100 days in Niagara Falls. But I came here about day 35, and there was about 9 gazillion people here working on this thing, and I go, oh, well, maybe they're going to do it. And they did. But they didn't just stop there. They built this beautiful hotel, and then came the Buffalo Creek Casino fiasco. There, they wanted to buy Fulton Street, which was a dead-end street, and normally the Common Council would just give it to them, but all of a sudden the anti-gambling people got wind of it and decided to send 200 people to a public hearing. So the Senecas very calmly explained what they were doing, why they wanted to do it, why they wanted the street, and the Common Council, of course, went for it, 6-3, just got through. So it's been a long time. One thing I can say, when the Senecas say they're going to do it, they do it. I wish everybody was like them. Kind of wish they'd give them all Western New York so we could get a lot more done. And I just wanted to say, congratulations, you guys, on 20 years.
Thank you, Paul, and I agree with your comment. Thanks again to all the trades for working so hard for us and so closely over these last 20 years. Let's keep it going. So, running a dynamic 24/7 business at 3 locations takes an incredible vendor network. I can't even guess the number of vendors Seneca Gaming Corporation has done business with in the last 20 years. After all, we use everything, from office products and playing cards to automobiles and fruits and vegetables. But sometimes a business is more than a vendor. They're a partner. And that's what Palmer Foods has been for Seneca Gaming Corporation, a true partner. When the pandemic hit, we had kitchens and freezers full of perishable food. We were closing our doors, and nobody had any idea what was going to happen or when things would change. What were you going to do? What were we going to do? And I think we all faced that challenge. But Palmer Foods didn't hesitate. They showed up and helped us deliver food to the Seneca Nation elders and others who needed it. That's a real partner, and that's a supporter of our community. And it's just one anecdote of how Palmer Foods has gone above and beyond for us over the years. Please join me in welcoming our great partner, Kip Palmer, from Palmer Foods. Kip.
Good morning. They don't let me out very much, so I'm not going to be as good a speaker as most people that have been up here already. I'm the president CEO of a 172-year-old company, Palmer Food Services in Rochester, New York. On behalf of the 700 associate employees that we have, I want to take this moment to say thank you from the bottoms of our heart for everything that the Seneca Nation has done for us as a company. We were here 20 years ago, and you introduced us to the gaming industry. We had no experience in it. We were primarily an up and down the street, independently owned and operated restaurant supplier. But you gave us a chance. And over the course of time, our relationship grew. Because let's be honest about it, and it's already been said a number of times before, everything in life is about people, and everything in life is about relationships. So our relationship grew little by little. In 2014, you gave us the opportunity to be the primary. I will never forget it for the rest of my life. On the 6th floor with the former president, and she said to me, "Why should we give you the opportunity for this?" And I said to her, "You'll never know what we're going to be able to do until you give us the opportunity. Would you please give us the opportunity for that?" And they said yes. And it's been such a wonderful blessing for us as a company. We've talked a little bit about the difficulties that we've all experienced through the pandemic. But I will tell you that our relationship with Seneca actually got stronger through the pandemic, because Seneca cared about us as a vendor, and we truly cared about Seneca as a client. We don't just have a relationship with Seneca. we have a partnership with Seneca. You are part of our family in Rochester, New York, and part of our Palmer Food Services family. And we're so appreciative. All I can say is our business has thrived, and part of that has been because of our relationship with Seneca Nation. So again, on behalf of the 700 folks that I report to every single day, okay, I want to say thank you. Thank you for everything. Blessings to you, and onward and upward. Thank you.
So, Kip Palmer, thank you for those great comments. We also want to welcome one of our important community partners, Joe Ruffalo, from Niagara Falls Memorial Medical Center. Please, Joe, join me up here for a few comments. Thank you very much.
Good morning. First, I certainly want to thank President Pagels and President Nephew for allowing me to have the privilege to speak to you today in terms of the significant importance that the Seneca Nation and the Seneca Gaming Corp has played at Niagara Falls Memorial Medical Center. And more important, in terms of how it's improved the quality of life here in the Niagara region for the residents that work and live here. So yes, I mean, you've heard over 20 years ago, I had heard a rumor about the Seneca Nation converting the convention center into a casino, and so I had to hear it for myself. So I made an appointment to meet with Mickey Brown, the leader back then of the Seneca Gaming Corp, and I met with him in his office. And for those of you that were familiar with Mickey Brown's office, as soon as you walked in his office, there was a time clock that was in front of his desk that had days, hours, minutes, and seconds of a countdown of 100 days. I couldn't imagine walking in my office every day, every hour, looking up at how much time I have left to open up the casino, to actually convert the convention center into a gaming place. And what an accomplishment it was. And what it meant for us at Memorial Medical Center is, over 20 years ago, many of you are very familiar with this area, there was nothing here. There was no employment, there was no activity, and overnight, there would literally be over 2,000 workers here. There'd be over 10 to 15,000 patrons here a day, which essentially meant that we really needed to change the front door of the medical center. We needed to build a brand new emergency room. We needed to build a heart center. After all, if you win, you might have a heart attack. If you lose, you'll definitely have a heart attack. So either way, we figured we needed a cardiac center. So what it did was the Seneca Nation and the Seneca Gaming Corp was the catalyst for a renewal of the Memorial Medical Center. And over the past 20 years, we've invested over $100 million, 2 blocks from here, in building new capital infrastructure and new technology, new programs, new services. That would not have been possible if we were not the benefactor of the gaming pact of $750,000 a year over 20 years. That's $15 million of the $100 million that we spent on improving the health care and the quality of life for the residents in the Niagara region, as well as the tourists, the many millions of tourists that come and visit the falls every single year. That $15 million was the catalyst for a major transformation 2 blocks from here. And so from a hospital's perspective and from our board's perspective, we are very, very grateful for the relationship, the partnership that we have with the Seneca Nation and the Seneca Gaming Corp, such that we have reserved a seat on our governing board for representation of the Seneca Nation. Our current board member is a Seneca counselor who is here today. Tina Abrams is somewhere in the crowd. There's Tina. That's my boss, one of my bosses. We're very grateful for her dedication and her time spending with the Memorial Medical Center. So again, I want to thank the leadership of the Seneca Nation, the leadership of the Seneca Gaming Corp for the support and the continued support, and hopefully in the renewal of the compact, the continued support for the vital healthcare services that we need for this region. Thank you very much.
Joe, thank you for those great comments. I think one of the things that Joe brought up, and it's just so important, is that, you know, all of us being here today is about that we are here and we will always be here. And I think that's a critical component. So, okay, a signed compact, a completely transformed building, needed supplies, but the most important ingredient in our success has always been our people. Seneca Gaming Corporation is one of the largest private employers in Western New York. Approximately 3,000 people work at our casino properties 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. They are without question the best team in the business. And could I get a round of applause for our Seneca Gaming Corporation team members? For me, it's a pleasure every day to come to work. And you want to talk about impact? Our team members live in every corner of our community. Nearly 1,000 are Niagara County residents. Approximately 1,000 come from Erie County, and more than 500 from Cattaraugus County residents. Plus, we have people that come from other parts of Western New York, as well as Canada, Pennsylvania, and the Rochester area. They are truly the face of Western New York. We are especially proud that 160 of our employees have worked for us for nearly 20 years. That's about 5% of our workforce who have been with us since day one, and we call them day oneers. Many of them are here today, and I'd like to give them a special round of applause. I'd love to have all 160 of them come up and tell their story, but I think we'd be here for a while. However, I do want to invite one of our 20-year employees, Justine Campanella, to come forward and say a few words. Justine?
Okay, 20 years ago, if someone would have told me I'd be working here at the corporation, I would not have believed them. I went to a job fair to get an application for my brother at the Statler building. While I was there, I was greeted by many people who were working and recruiting for the corporation. And they were pretty persistent about me filling out an application. I did, even though I was still in school, just had my second child, and I was not looking to get back into the workforce. After filling out the application and going home later that day, I found out my husband had just been laid off from his job. So I got a phone call, and on the answer machine was the corporation, and they offered me a position in human resources. He told me to take it. At first I was hesitant because the cost of daycare was insane, and it just would not work out. But he said, no worries, you want to do this, you do it, and I'll stay home with the kids. Great. So that's what I did. I came to work here, and I helped hire a lot of the original team members. There were lines out of the building over at the Rainbow Center, and it was something to see. It really was. And to see this building conformed in 100 days. Working at Seneca has definitely opened a lot of doors for me and for my family and my children. My parents were able to provide for me, but probably not in the way they wish they could have. But I am able to do this for my children. I am able to give them everything they need to fulfill their dreams of whatever it may be. I support them with their education, any of their activities. We've done a lot of activities: baseball, dance, lacrosse, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts. We've done it all. But through all of this, I have to say, the corporation has always stood by me, given me opportunities to go back to my dreams of going back to school and fulfilling things that I thought I would never be able to do. So that is why I stand with Seneca, and I am proud to be an employee here as well as a Seneca Nation member. Yahweh.
So try to find my place here. Sorry. Thank you, Justine. You know, I can't say enough for Justine Campanella. Actually, I get to work with her, and she's one of the people when I decided to come back to the corporation. It was really nice. I mean, I think everyone had open doors, but I have to say Justine always had that open door of being a teacher, and I think that speaks highly for all our team members. I wanted to take the time to thank all of our speakers, guests, and friends for joining us today. Thank you for standing with us, for sharing your stories, and for giving a voice and a face to what the Seneca Nation has delivered over the past 2 decades and everything we provide to our region every day. I'd like all the speakers to come up for a second, if you could. Please, Kip, Joe, Paul, if you could. And I'm just going to kind of go off script, but I just wanted to ask one question, you know, and it just can be a word or two. But I think as we've gone through this, it's been wonderful to have your comments. I can't say enough of those. And I'd like to ask if you could just say a word or two of what you feel it means to you to stand with Seneca.
It's very easy for us to stand with Seneca. Seneca has always done what they said they would do. I heard that happen. Someone said that before, right? But in their relationships with us, they've always conducted themselves with the highest ethics. They held themselves accountable when it was appropriate. They held us accountable when it was appropriate. It was truly a team effort. And Seneca, as I said before, is truly a partner in our business. And we hope that they consider, I think they do, consider us a partner in their business. We really do care. So honestly, it's easy to stand with Seneca.
Yeah, I really don't have much more to add than what was already said. But I think it's hard to quantify the impact on improving the quality of life. And, you know, with some of the life-saving programs that we put in place that were partially funded through the relationship with the Seneca Nation and the Seneca Gaming Corp, lives were saved. So how do you put a number on that? And in terms of improving the quality of life for the Niagara residents, you know, I think that speaks loudly in terms of what it means to have the Seneca Nation here and the Seneca Gaming Corp here and the relationship that we have. It's just, it's been life-saving. Thank you.
I would say my thoughts are that the Senecas are inconsistently consistent. As everybody knows, they elect a new president every 2 years, and So the different president every 2 years. For the last 20 years, that means there's been 10 presidents. Yet they've always been the same with the building trades. They're very consistent. They support us. We support them. So it's kind of surprising that when a new administration comes in, they don't clean house. They stay the same. It's very nice to see. I kind of wish that everybody else would follow their example.
I also wanted, I would be remiss without being able to offer other comments. And so what I wanted to do is we have other dignitaries here. As we go through, I'm going to start with the mayor of Niagara Falls, Robert Restaino.
Thank you, Kevin. You know, it's great to be here to remember how the landscape of Western New York, and most especially the city of Niagara Falls, changed 20 years ago. The contributions that the Seneca Nation and the Gaming Corporation have made to the community are numerous. I can tell you that this administration is working hard to create, establish, and build great relationships with our neighbors in the Seneca Nation. We think, our administration thinks, that standing with the Seneca is as important as standing with every other business that we have in this community. And so for us, for this administration, it's very important that we work closely with our friends at the Seneca Nation. So congratulations in celebrating this 20-year anniversary, and let's hope we get that compact taken care of shortly. Thank you all.
I always get a little bit confused with all the titles, but a great friend of mine too, Assemblyman Angelo Morinello.
Thank you. I'm extremely proud to stand with the Senecas. They are a team with those of us in government. And remember, there's never an I in team. But what's more important, and it wasn't mentioned, they're self-sufficient. They've talked about the 100 days, but they haven't told you. They spent $1 million a day for 100 days to get this completed. And it has been a true jewel in the city of Niagara Falls. Took the hospital 15 years to spend $100 million. They did it in 100 days. But they've also impacted the school district of Niagara Falls because they are a recipient and a beneficiary of the Seneca Casino. I'm going to do just a quick history. The Senecas have not been respected by everyone in the state of New York. The Kinzua Dam fiasco was mentioned. They did not have to destroy the Seneca Nation's homeland. They did not have to destroy Paul Brown's cabin. They could have moved around it, but they took them for granted. But what the Senecas did was they stood proud, they stood tall, and they still contributed. And because of that, because of the teamwork, and because of the support for the many entities that this casino and the Seneca Nation support, I am proud to stand with the Senecas. Thank you.
I'd now like to introduce Senator Sean Ryan. Sean.
It's my pleasure to be here today. I stand with Senecas because the Seneca stands for perseverance. From Buffalo Creek to Buffum Street to where we're standing now, the Senecas are a permanent fixture in Western New York. I stand with the Senecas.
Thank you, everyone. We will now have our Haudenosaunee dancers perform. President Matthew Pagels and the rest of our speakers will be available for individual interviews away from the podium once they're completed. Thank you. Yahweh.
Oigo Scano. In the language, there it is how we greet each other. We're honored to be here today. My name is Martin Jefferson Jr. from the Seneca Nation. We're honored, we have some gifted, talented youth dancers here that I brought with me today here to demonstrate some of our traditional social dancing and what we call Haudenosaunee Yoinza Ka. These dancers here are very talented, I tell you. We're about to open up our dance demonstration here with a little welcome song and dance here to welcome everybody here to Seneca Niagara here. So this is the welcome song and dance. That is a welcome song and dance here. These dances that we're doing today here are we call social dances, or Haudenosaunee Yoinza Ka. We utilize these songs and dances as a means of entertainment or enjoyment there, and it brings all our people together. It lifts our minds, it lifts our spirits up. So this next dance here we'd like to do here, have our ladies come on out. Gentlemen, if you come on over here, please, there. This next dance here, what we do here, we hold in our traditional ways, we hold all our females in high regard. They are the life givers, they are the clan mothers, and they elect our title holders within our longhouses here. But this dance here stems way back to our creation story, as it said there. Sky woman there, she was up in the sky world, and there was a tree that was uprooted, there was a hole. And this lady fell through the hole there, and as she was falling, she was caught by a flock of birds and placed on the back of a turtle. And as she did this dance here, the back of the turtle grew to what we call North America, or Turtle Island. But they say the most important piece of this dance here is you have to watch their footwork. As they say, their feet never leave the earth, as we call a Tino and Yoinza. So this is the New Women's Shuffle Dance. That is what we call the ladies' dance there. SGNA going to say. I like to give these youth dancers here a lot of credit here for getting up here and dancing. You know, a lot of times there it can be a little hard there, but we're gonna cap this off here with a little smoke dance here. This dance here has been a very competitive style dancing, but we're gonna have our dancers come out here, and this will conclude our dance demonstration here for today here. So at this time here, all of our dancers come on out. This is going to be a smoke dance here, style dancing here. A lot of the times there, these dancers, they travel about the different contests and whatnot there. So, smoke dance, here we go. Give it up for our dancers, our youth dancers, Seneca Nation youth dancers. At this time here, this will conclude our dance demonstration for today. As I say, Yahweh for having us here. We enjoyed dancing for you guys here. Yahweh, 7 inch yosta, Dani Hodiyai.